One of the things I think that people with diabetes have to contend with is disposal of the bits and bobs that get used and then not used again. In here I have a lot of unused lancing devices. Now, once those heads have been taken off, you want to be able to put these somewhere safe. Now, on a daily basis, if you don't have a sharps box immediately handy, then where would you put them? And then the other great joy in the world of diabetes is our sensors, which have an uncanny knack of getting all sorts of places and just generally being in the way. And no one that I know of has ever come up with a solution for where to put these. Now, in most of the kit bags there's a small pocket where you can just keep sliding them and you can take them out. There's very small plastic bags you can get that seal at the top, they're great. Or alternatively, you can look at tins. There's one with a good tin. This is an old baking powder tin with a really nice little lid. That would work very, very well. This is a tiny tin I got at Christmas time. That would work very well as well. Nice and neat, safe enough top on there. It's quite hot at home actually, so I've got very weak little hands. An old shoe polish tin, even better because once you've got that squished shut you actually have to perform an action to open it back up again. So that would be perfect. Another couple that I came across recently, they were both just in, I think this was in Starbucks and this one might have been in Costa. This little tin would happily fit a few items in there, and that could knock about in the bottom of your bag quite easily. Not wildly safe, I have to say. It's not brilliant, but it's along the right lines. This was brilliant. This actually is brilliant. It's got a tiny little hole in it, so if you had used your sensor little strip, you could pop it away in there, and that really is done and dusted. And that's the best thing I've found so far. None of these cost much. I mean, obviously when you're buying your baking powder, the tin comes free with the product, but you can actually just make an effort to buy products for, you know, the next couple of times you go out shopping that are in tins, because the tins then last forever. This little item, which is a nice Sharps storage bin, that had tea in it, the label came off quite easily. This, obviously enough, had fudge in, certainly sorted me out through a whole bunch of hypos. And the other thing are these I think this was like a chutney jar or something. This was hand cream, and this happens to have old sensors in it, which is a bit disgusting, but there you go, I'll show you what a sensor is. And obviously just your average spice pot or something that I've collected those up in. So my advice is take a look around, find some tins that would suit you. This was the best of the bunch, and this was Impact Fresh Mince, apparently sugar-free, but don't you believe it, they're never sugar-free, they just call it carbohydrate and pretend that that's not sugar. So this is carbohydrates, 96.9 grams per 100 grams, of which sugar 0.2 grams. But you see, it's still going to make your sugars go up, so for a diabetic, ignore sugar-free, unless it really, really is. These are some specialist tins that I found out and about, actually on the streets of Brighton. This one is just big enough to hold a sensor, of which I'll show you a bit more in a moment, without breaking the packaging, so it's still in a sealed environment. But it's one way to keep a sensor out and about, because they don't come with anything to carry them around in. And this is another lovely little tin. And this was actually quite expensive, that's $3.99, but it came with sweeties in, and I gave to someone. And this also fits a sensor in. So it means you can, if you know your sensor's about to run out, which it does every 6 days, then you can have one spare and safe, but you can carry it around with you should you need to.